Assalamualaikum to Professor Dr. Wan Zahari bin Wan Yusof. Today, we would like to present about report and valuation on double-story low-cost terrace house Mukim Ulu Benut, District of Kluang and State of Johor. My name is Rabiatul Adawiyah binti Sakiman. And my group member is Muhammad Akmal bin Ismail, Amira Zulaika binti Abdul Malik, Intan Nur Hidayah binti Lim, and Nur Izzati Nadia binti Sukaimai. Preamble. In pursuance to the instructions later issued by Bank Simpanan Nasional to value the above captioned property, we confirm we have inspected the property on 30th November 2022, taken all relevant particulars, made the necessary investigations, and now submit our report and valuation. Our purpose of report and valuation. This report valuation we created with finance in consideration. Therefore, this report valuation may only be used for the stated that the concept may not be used for any reasons without prior written authorization. Our scope of work. This report and valuation is prepared to determine the market value, for sale value, and fire insurance of the subject property. Date of valuation. The inspection date specified above, or 30th November 2022, shall serve as the material date of valuation for the purposes of this valuation exercise. Inspection and referencing. The relevant properties internal and external inspection was carried out on 30th November 2022 by Rabiatul Alawiyah binti Sakiman. Location of the subject property is at PT number PTD15743, held under title number PTDK SKS 1198 PTG, Mukim Ulu Benut, District of Kluang, State of Johor, bearing postal address number 8, Jalan Puteri 14, Taman Puteri Mas 86200, Sempang Regam, Johor, hereinafter referred to as the subject property. Situated within a residential scheme known as Taman Puteri Mas, which approximately 2.7 kilometers to the town centre of Sempang Regam. About 1.5 km, not too far from the subject property, it has a Sekolah Kebangsaan Dato' Onn Jaafar. There are also basic necessities such as shops, restaurants, and other facilities that bring convenience to the residents around the neighborhood of the subject property. Location plan as Appendix A, identifying the subject property, is enclosed here.
Surrounding development. Properties within the immediate vicinity of the subject property are predominantly residential in character of double-story terrace house. Jalan Surya is 2 kilometers due to southwest of the subject property, while the bus stop is located approximately 1 kilometer due southwest of the subject property. Description of the subject property. First, the site. The subject property comprises an intermediate residential terrace house which is rectangular in shape. The title site area of the subject property is approximately 769.9984 square feet. The subject property site boundaries are marked by brick wall and metal fencing, and a pair of folding gates with pole hangers secure entry to the property. For the construction, the building is generally constructed as building frame, concrete brick, roof asbestos, ceiling plaster ceiling, wall cement brick with plaster cement, door wooden door, and the window is jalousie window. Accommodation. The accommodation layout and floor finishes of the building are for the carport, living, dining, wet or dry kitchen, bedroom and bathroom. All of this is use the floor finishes of the cement mortar. For the building area, the approximately built-up area of the subject as to the uniform method of measurement of building by the Institution of Surveyors Malaysia are as follow. For the main floor area is 58.0205 square meter, which is 624.5275 square feet. For the ancillary floor area is 47.9795 square meter, which is 516.4470 square feet. For the gross floor area is 104 square meters, which is 1119.45 square feet. Particular of title. We have conducted a title search at Pejabat Tanah Keluang on 30th November 2022. For the confirming the detail of the title particular of the subject property as the property is the PTD 15743 at Mukim Ulu Benot, District of Keluang, State of Johor. Number of title is PTDK.SKS11/98, PTG.9/98-98. The tenure is the leasehold and the site area is 71.5352 square meter. For the quiet rent is 21 ringgit. The category of land use is building. Registered owner is Hishamuddin bin Sufyan. Express condition is for residential building and restriction in it. Planning provision. The subject property is designated and located within an area zoned for residential use.
Next is public utilities and services. In Taman Puteri Mas, it have public utilities such as electricity, telecommunication lines, and main water supplies are connected to the subject property. In that area, we have Majlis Daerah Semparangam MDSR provides the usual public amenities and social services. Public transportation in such as taxi and bus are viable along the main road, especially in Taman Puteri. Next is occupancy status. We noted that the subject property is occupied. From our observation, the occupancy rate within the scheme during the site inspection is approximately 90%. Next is basis of valuation. Our basis of valuation is market value, force of sale, and fire insurance value. The first is market value. Market value is defined as the estimate amount for which an asset should exchange on the date of valuation between a willing buyer and a willing seller in an arm's length transaction after proper marketing wherein the parties had each act knowledgeable, prudently, and without compulsion. Second is force of sale is the amount which may reasonably be received from the sale of an asset under for sale condition which do not meet all the criteria of a normal market transaction. And lastly is fire insurance value. Fire insurance value is the sum to be insured on the basis of equivalent reinstatement where a building is destroyed. It reflects the rebuilding cost of the structure to a condition equal to but not better or more extensive than its condition before and taking into account any current building regulation.
Method of valuation. In arriving at the market value of the subject property, we have adopted as our main approach the comparative method of valuation. This valuation method aims to determine the value of the precise property by comparing and using as a yardstick recent transaction and evidence of sale environment other similar properties in the surrounding area. Among the main factors that are taken into account are location, plot size, improvement made if any, surrounding development, amenities and facilities is available. Okay, now we move to factor considered in valuation. Firstly, factor considered in valuation is industry demand. Industry demand means indicates that the economy sector of operating will be significant in determining its valuation. Secondly is market size. The size of the market in which a company competes affect the potential profit from an investment. Lastly, for general economy. The general economy indicate that when the economy is doing poorly, there may be less interest in investing in a high risk asset class like early stage companies.
16. Opinion of value. First is market value. Property that has been inspected after taking into consideration the component related to the subject property in specific and other variables that influence the value of property. In common, we are conjecture that the market value of the subject property identified as PT number PTD 15743 held under title number PTDK SKS 11/1998 PTG 99898 Mukim Ulu Benut, District of Kluang, State of Johor, bearing postal address number 8, Jalan Puteri 14, Taman Puteri Mas, 86200, Simperenggam, Johor, with vacant possession is Ringgit Malaysia 100,000 only. Secondly, for sale value. We assess the for sale value of the subject property at Ringgit Malaysia 75,000 only. Next, fire insurance value. We assess the fire insurance value of the subject property at Ringgit Malaysia 50,000 only. 17. Evidence of value. Our investigation revealed the following sale evidence which are comparable to the subject property. Evidence comparable analysis. Subject property. Property terrace house. Mukim Ulu Benut. Address 8 Jalan Puteri Mas 14 Taman Puteri Mas. Type of property double story. Land area 71.5352 square feet. Tenure leasehold. Residential land. Transaction sale 75,000. Date of transaction 21 January of 2002. Evidence 1. Terrace house. Mukim Ulu Benut. Address Jalan Puteri 6 Taman Puteri Mas. Type of property double story. Land area 1,540 square feet. Tenure freehold. Residential land. Transaction sale is 215,000. Date of transaction is 4 October 2019. Evidence 2. Property terrace house, Mukim Ulu Benut, Jalan Puteri 9, Taman Puteri Mas. Double story. Land area is 1,550 square feet. Tenure is freehold. Residential land. Transaction sale is 260,000. Date of transaction is 3 March 2020. Evidence 3. Property of terrace house, Mukim Ulu Benut. Address is Jalan Puteri 9, Taman Puteri Mas. Double story. Land area is 999 square feet. Tenure is freehold. Residential land. Transaction sale is 183,000. Date of transaction is 7 January 2021. Total market value of the adjusted based on the percentage adjustment. Market value for evidence 1 is 225,879 ringgit. For evidence 2, market value is RM 273,156 ringgit. For evidence 3, 189,100 ringgit Malaysia. Market value for overall this double story property is 250,000 ringgit Malaysia. 18. Calculation of rate assessment for the subject property. Stamp duty payable is based on RM 250,000 ringgit Malaysia. First, RM 100,000 at 1% is RM 1,000. Extra RM 150,000 from the first schedule between 101,000 to RM 500,000. RM 150,000 at 2% is 3,000. Amount stamp duty payable is RM 1,000 plus 3,000 is 4,000. 18. Calculation of rate assessment for the subject property.